Because it turned out I'm not bipolar, Louis. I have PTSD, complex PTSD, from early trauma. And
no way.
Yeah, and other traumatic
So you were
events.
misdiagnosed?
I was. So
what was the PTSD from?
Oh, I could tell you. Do you want me to?
Not if you don't want to.
Well, I'll tell you the bits. I'll tell you the bits I'm comfortable
That's
telling
you saying,
you.
I can, and I'm like, well, it's up to you.
Yeah, no, I'll tell you the bits I'm comfortable with. So there's some childhood trauma, just because my mum had postpartum depression. My dad is a very eccentric person, and he had like an alter ego called Stan.
Right, when he got angry...
Yeah, he would turn into Stan.
He said, oh, Stan's showing up.
He would say, sorry for Stan's behaviour. And we've had a very good repair recently, which was fantastic. But also was sexually abused at the age of 9. And then what else? Then the boy I lost my virginity to died.
He was knocked over by a hit and run. Did they catch the guy who knocked him over?
They never did. Then I had a neighbour.
In London?
Yep. And at some point he was banging on the door and he said, why don't you want to be friends with me? Why don't you want to be friends with me? And he stepped in front of a train and killed himself. So that was one bad thing. And then I was on my way back from a gig I'd been to at Shepherd's Bush. This group of children run up, smack this guy in the head, and I saw him with blood just coming out of his head like this, and they'd smacked him and he'd fallen onto a guardrail. And I called the police, I called an ambulance, like the ambulance people were telling me what to do, like do this, do that, to try and keep him safe until the ambulance got there. And then I had to go to court to try and identify the kids. And after I testified and they read out my home address in front of the perpetrators, and he just looked at me and he said, you're next. It was just really scary. So there's that. And then there's getting famous is, I think, a traumatic event.
What do you think? You've spoken quite a bit about the trauma of, or the problem with fame, and that fame is a poison, generally.
Yeah.
Do you believe that?
I do. Because I'm still exactly the same person. I still have exactly the same insecurities. This has done nothing for me. And that's when I started to realize the disappointments of fame. That I thought it was going to rescue me, and it didn't.
Rescue you from feelings of maybe...
Worthlessness. Yes, you can say it. Worthlessness. And also because when the paparazzi start to follow you, it is like being prey. It's like their cameras are guns and you're a deer. I think it activates some sort of primordial, is that the right word? Primordial experience in the brain. Your brain releases loads of neurochemicals that are like you're under attack.
Yeah. Plenty to be traumatized about.
Yeah, so that's why they say I have complex PTSD, because of all of those things.